J Prince Jr. finally responds to Allstar JR. He says, this internet shit is cap. First off, I went to the restaurant by myself to meet OG3 for his birthday dinner. I just want to let y'all know I did say that, right? And if you go to OG3's Instagram page, you can see he was celebrating his birthday on the night that the shooting occurred between Allstar and Ben 10, as well as Murda. I didn't have not one of my guys with me, and everyone who was at the restaurant was there organically to celebrate the homie's birthday. So right here, you have J Prince Jr. essentially declining any involvement with the situation. He's basically saying that NBA Ben 10 did not do that for him. He's not one of his guys. I did not sick him on him. I am not responsible in any way for anything that turned out. They did not come there with me. They came there themselves. They came there organically, and we did what we did in order to celebrate the birthday of OG3. He says, I didn't know Buddy was there. I just came from physical therapy and my aunt's birthday dinner, which was why I was dressed like that. So now J Prince Jr. provides an alibi. You know what I'm saying? So he has an alibi. Now he says he would never harm a child, and that little boy loves me to death. So y'all can chill out with that BS too. I understand y'all bloggers want clicks, but at least attempt to tell some truth. Y'all just make up anything. So first off, right here, I get offended. Not because I spread these rumors, but because Junior, bro, every time something happens, J Prince comes to clean it up. Mike Prince comes to clean it up. Like, at some point, you gotta realize that your daddy can't keep coming to clean up your mess. And this is the time, right? This is the time where you can step up and say, hey, this is the situation. And I know you wasn't raised like that. You was raised by the old law. You don't get on the internet and tell your business. Unfortunately, you are in a newer generation. This is not the generation of your father. And so things work a little different. We need to hear from you because the people are really not messing with you. They really don't like you. They think that you got cake off, took off. And now, no pun intended, and now the Allstar Jr. or Allstar JR situation transpires, and it's just like, Allstar went wrong. That's the one thing we do know. If we don't know nothing else, he wasn't wrong for defending himself with the chain being took, right? You done took my chain, and now I done got the gun, and I done shot you. And now an Allstar is saying that you ran and left them, and he thought they were your people. This is what Allstar is saying. So the blog frenzy is because we never heard anybody talk to the Prince family like this. Like, not only did he stand on business, but now he's like standing on it all the way. He's standing on it on the internet. He's playing the internet game, and he's getting a lot of clout off of the legacy that your father has built and that NBA YoungBoy is building and that you contributed to. And so I think that it's a boss move for you to finally say something. And I'm personally glad you said something, because I want to think that you were raised better than this. I want to think that you had a father in your life and your father taught you better than this, and that, like, I didn't have no daddy. So I'm like, damn, like, you got dad, you got all the advantages. You know what I'm saying? Your brother is the one who discovered Drake. Your family is iconic for multiple reasons. Y'all discovered the Ghetto Boys, the founders of gangster rap. You know what I'm saying? Especially in the South, especially in Texas, especially in Houston. So you owe that to us. We give you a lot of grace, especially the bloggers in your city. So you owe that to us. You owe us an explanation. You owe Houston an explanation. You owe your daddy an explanation. Why are you with OG3? And you provided that here. Let's continue to see what Junior has to say. He says, secondly, I would never harm a child, and that little boy owes under death. So he says, secondly, I would never harm a child, and that little boy loves me to death. So y'all can chill out with all that BS too. So Allstar Jr.'s camp put out a rumor saying that J Prince Jr. punched Allstar Jr.'s son in the chest or in the stomach, and he threw up. And so when Allstar seen Jr., he confronted him about it. And that's why the altercation happened. Because he confronted Junior. Ben 10 seen it in the midst of OG3's birthday, and Ben 10 went with his move. That's the narrative that's being pushed. Junior isn't denying that he hit him, but he said he would never harm him and that he loves me. Now, I don't think hitting a child is harming. I think that that's discipline. And I feel like if Junior is in the child's life, that Junior has the right to discipline him as long as the mom is cool with it. If the mom didn't make the situation an issue, then the situation should not be an issue unless Junior went too far. Allstar may feel like regardless of what Junior does, says, or his son tells him that Junior has done or said, Junior is wrong. And righteously so, because that's his child. But the reality is that Junior says he'll never harm a child. What else, Junior? I was raised to handle business in private, but this new generation only explains what's posted, not what's real. When the story gets one-sided, silence starts looking like guilt. And sometimes you gotta speak, not for them, but to set the record straight. So I'll be sitting down with someone to clear the air on a lot of situations soon. Get well, Ben and Roy. Y'all stay strong. That was a lot. That was powerful. I'm glad I broke it down as I went. I'll say this to J. Prince Jr. Keep your head up, bro. It's sad that your name is always getting brought up in this mess. And this should also tell you that, like, be humble. You can look at you and see the arrogance in your face. But I know that it's not fully arrogance, it's confidence, and you know people ain't messing with you. But be humble. When you posted that dude's baby mom licking your arm, and then you went on to taunt him.
I want him to know that you moved on to bigger and better things.
Hey man, he a cheater, y'all.
Oh shit, that's mob shit.
Nigga, she made it. You gotta get it out.
Oh, hey, you are.
She made it.
Trust the process.
Say, man, I'm glad you left her alone. Or I'm glad y'all had differences because I'm the difference now.
Trust the process.
There's a lot of people out here on this internet who done had their woman took. Allstar is humiliated by you. You humiliated that man. And if it didn't matter to nobody else, it mattered to him. I think not only did whatever he approached you about matter, but that right there fueled the situation. And it didn't have to. You could have been a little bit more P than that. CMP. Come on. You could have been CMP on that situation. You could have, man to man, mano y mano, bro. You could have been more CMP on that situation. You didn't have to let her kiss the arms. Mob time. You know what I'm saying? Mind you, she's bad. Like, I take my hat off, but all of your women bad. Like, you, co-owner of Area 29, like, you have no problem getting the women. But it's like, Finesse 2 times is saying that you did the same thing with his baby mama. And it's just like a situation where it's like, bruh, we live in a different era. This era don't respect gangsterism. This era respects people being real, honest, and authentic. This is the internet age, gang. This is the age where being a snitch is more popular than being a person that kept it solid. And so I'm saying that to say, my condolences, bro. My condolences. My condolences to the mother of Ben 10, who has to know that her son crashed out over a woman that he was not sleeping with. A woman who he probably does not know. A woman that he didn't think about before he went with his move. He crashed out over respect. But that's not always how you should handle a situation. And I don't know if you could have stopped the situation, Junior. But you gotta know, bro, that this is your city. This is your backyard. So regardless of what transpired and what took place, this is still your city. You should have told 10, stop! 10, chill. You got that type of power. And he would have listened. Junior, stop! JR. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying they would have just listened to you. I'm not even saying that's your place for real. But this your city, so it has to be your place, bro. You have to be able to de-escalate a situation before it gets out of control, because you know, especially over a woman, what these dudes is gonna do. You know how this is gonna go. I'm just saying, bro. I love you. I ain't gonna lie, man. I got real love for you. Man, listen, man. Like, I feel like you a young player. You in your 40s. You a young player. You got a legacy that your father done built for you and really done built for the culture. You doing your thing with it. But it's like, bro, you gotta do better, bro. And let me tell you something. Do more for the community. Because times like this is when they gonna remember times like that. Times like this is when they gonna remember, well, he does this for the community. You remember when the situation happened with Trey the Truth? And it was like, man, I hate what Trey did to Rose. I hate Trey. That's how we felt. Trey's a mark. Trey's out of pocket. Trey's a hoe. Trey's a peon. Trey is this. Trey is that. That's how we felt. But on the other hand, it was like, man, Trey he do all this for the community, bro. We can't just sell out Trey like that. We can't do Trey like that. We can't really say the same about you. We can say the same about the Prince family. And to my knowledge, I believe you have done some things for your community. But your legacy is so much bigger than Fifth Ward. It's bigger than your community. It's the whole Houston. It's the whole state of Texas. You should be getting loved everywhere, not feared. And I feel like your approach is fear. Like, it's not like, man, I'm tapping in to show love. It's more so, I got the power. And you do. And you do. You got the power, bro. You got the power. Like, you probably got the most money in Houston. Your family, especially, like, if I don't know if y'all got linked bank accounts, or I don't know how the payroll work. You know what I'm saying? But I'm sure Jay Prince has more money than he can spend in his lifetime. Probably in your lifetime. You know what I mean? So whatever it is, the trust, the assets, you got an island that you're gonna inherit. Like, it's like, you straight, bro. You super straight, bro. I think that you need to show more love. And I think that the love that you extend shouldn't just be toward them rap niggas. I'm glad you spoke up. If you had somebody like me in your camp, you would have spoke up beforehand. If you had somebody like me in your camp, you could have spent the narrative beforehand. But instead, I don't know what you got going on. I truthfully don't. But I'm glad you spoke up. Like I said, man, Jay Prince Jr., bro, keep your head up, bro. I'm gonna tell you this: it might get better for you, but it might get worse. It might get worse. There's a guy trolling one of the biggest rappers ever, NBA Youngboy. So even if it's just Ben 10, it all falls on NBA. The biggest rapper. Think about it. And you got two rappers on your label who don't like you. Honeycomb Brazy, Finesse Two Times. They don't like you. And they're talking about you. And then you got P. Youngin, another NBA crash out, who's just online saying whatever. He's threatening bloggers. And then you got Allstar, who's saying that he did this, he did that, he stood over him. These is what's being told. So it's hard out here, Jay Prince Jr. But I feel like you gonna get through this. I feel like you need to take some kind of accountability as far as at least knowing the power of your position as being the son of Jay Prince, because sometimes I think we forget who we are. Like, you get into a lot of quarrels that princes don't involve themselves in. You move like a prince, but some of your plexes are not prince worthy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying you should even get a wife. Like, I'm not saying that. I think you should be a young shit popper. I like it. But it's one of them situations where it's like, you know you got the most to lose. In most situations, you gonna have the most to lose because your situation is not just gonna affect you, it's gonna affect your family. At the end of the day, it affects young boy, but it's like everybody knows it's out of his control. When it comes to Junior, it's usually something that's happening in your city, in the city of Houston. I don't want to go too far, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all for tuning in with me. If you've been tuning in this far, keep tuning in. Real tune. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna tune up. I'm thinking of my intro though. But I'm tuning out.